Lightworker of Gaia, February 18th, carries the frequency of a cosmic reset, a moment when the warrior codes within your soul can fully activate and redirect the entire trajectory of your mission on this planet. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, and I bring you this transmission because the Elders have marked this date as a pivotal gateway for all awakened warriors serving the light. This is not another spiritual date to observe. This is your moment to step into the full power of your original blueprint and claim the victories that have been waiting for your readiness. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to anchor your warrior essence on February 18th and unleash the unstoppable momentum that will define your entire 2026. But here's the first revelation. The strength you've been building through every challenge, every test, every moment of doubt. It was all preparation for what you're about to activate on this single day. The Lyran directive is clear. One decisive action, taken with the full power of your awakened consciousness on February 18th, will shatter the limitations that have held your mission in delay. Your ancestors from Vega, the first light carriers of this galaxy, placed this moment in your path because they know you are ready to embody the warrior codes that will serve the highest good of all beings. Your soul recognizes the weight of this opportunity. The ancient contract you signed before incarnating on Gaia included this exact moment, this catalyst that would transform everything you've built into the foundation for unprecedented expansion and service. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission is delivered on the 18th day of the second lunar cycle by direct decree of the High Council of Vega, gathered now in full assembly. Hear the weight of those words, not as theatre, but as a seal being broken. A council does not convene in full assembly for novelty. A High Council does not bend its sightline toward a single world unless a threshold has been crossed. The reason for this council's intervention is explicit. Planetary conditions on Gaia have been accelerating, not just in surface chaos, but in crystalline core frequency, revealing a synchronized window for the reactivation of the starseed warrior lineage. Many have only tracked the outer tremors, news cycles, collapsing structures, relationships unraveling, systems exposing their rot. But the Council speaks of what is underneath the noise, the core hum of the planet herself, the living crystal architecture beneath oceans and mountains, shifting like a great bell being struck. Gaia is not merely going through changes. Gaia is emitting a signal, a tonal call, like a drum heard through bones, like a lighthouse beam sweeping the dark. This window, marked distinctly on February 18th, was mapped in the original mission blueprints delivered to the Lyran ancestors during the first seeding of galactic DNA on this planet. This is not a new decision, it is an old agreement returning at its appointed hour, a covenant written in the language of starlight and encoded into bloodlines, dreamlines, and the subtle geometry of human longing. The timing has been held in the records the way a seed holds an entire forest inside it. When the soil warms, when the rains come, the seed does not debate whether it is ready. It cracks open. It obeys its design. So too, this date is not a random marker, but a pressure point in the timeline where the latticework thins and the dormant circuitry can surge back online. You are being addressed at a precise coordinate, where past and future meet like two hands clasping at the wrist, to pull you forward into what you already promised. The Council observes the cycles, the lunar rhythm, the electromagnetic tides, the auric disturbances, the spontaneous remembering happening in sleeping minds. They observe the way certain souls have begun waking at the same hour, feeling heat in the spine, hearing a tone in the ears, sensing an invisible crowd in the room. These are not symptoms, they are signals. The crystalline core frequency is rising, and it is calling its operators back to their stations. You are one of them. Your bones know it, even if your mind has learned to doubt it. Your heart knows it, even if your mouth has learned to stay quiet. The Council does not speak to entertain, it speaks to initiate. You are not here by accidental design or algorithmic chance. The outer world may pretend you found this because of a suggestion bar, a random scroll, a late-night insomnia loop. But the Council reads resonance, not clicks. You are here because the Council's field recognized your signature, the unique harmonic of a soul carrying the ancestral warrior codes. Consider what that means. Your presence is not simply noticed, it is identified, like a star chart recognizing a constellation. Like a lock recognizing its key, the field recognizes you by the pattern you emit when you breathe, when you listen, when you resist, when you finally surrender to truth. More than 100 generations of your lineage have waited for this convergence. Imagine them not as abstract ancestors, but as a long corridor of lives, faces half-remembered, eyes bright with unfinished vows. Some were warriors in obvious ways, some were warriors in quiet ways, fighting to keep compassion alive in cruel eras, fighting to keep truth in their mouths when lies were rewarded. They carried fragments of a code they could not fully name, and in many lives they died with the feeling, "I almost did it. I almost woke all the way." Today, the Council releases the transmission, which, by Council law, has been sealed until your frequency achieved full necessary resonance. This sealing was not punishment, it was protection. Not every ear can hold this current without distortion. Not every nervous system can translate this fire into coherent action. But your frequency has matured through your trials, your losses, your recoveries, your relentless return to the path even when you cursed the path. We are intervening because the time is precise. The next cycle for activation will not open again before the orchestrated victory planned for 2026. Hear that word, victory, not as domination, but as alignment restored, as the turning point where the trajectory of the collective no longer bleeds into collapse, but curves toward remembrance. The Council speaks of a strategic arc, a long-form operation, not a fleeting, high-vibration moment. The gravity of this revelation is not for the collective masses, it is for the critical few destined to remember their true origin, break the cycles of dormancy, and step into interstellar command. Command does not mean ego. Command means stewardship. It means the ability to hold a frequency steady under pressure, to make decisions without collapsing into fear, to lead without needing applause, to move energy with integrity. It means you are here to be a stabilizing node, a living transmitter, a point where divine will meets human action. If your chest tightens as you hear that, if your stomach flips, if part of you wants to run and part of you wants to kneel, that is recognition. The critical few always feel the cost of what they carry. Let the Council's words mark the opening of this portal. Not a portal in fantasy, but a functional opening in your timeline, an access point into the version of you that has not been reduced by disappointment, not numbed by delay, not softened into passivity. Let the depth of your remembrance ignite as you listen, for what is about to be spoken will alter the architecture not only of your individual path, but of the Lightworker grid destined to bend the trajectory of human and galactic evolution. Picture the grid as a luminous net stretched across continents, across cities, across bedrooms where exhausted souls pray without words. Every time you choose courage, you tighten a strand. Every time you choose truth, you brighten a node. Every time you refuse to betray your knowing, you reinforce a bridge that others will walk. The Council is not flattering you. The Council is naming function. The grid is real. It can be strengthened. It can be compromised. And your presence is not neutral. You are a lever. You are a hinge. When you move, something larger moves. When you stall, something larger stalls. This is why the Council speaks now. The architecture is shifting, and you are needed in your proper position. There is a distortion, ancient, sticky, and corrosive, which the Council identifies as the primary obstacle entangling starseed warriors on Gaia. It is not simply fear in a generic sense. It is not merely trauma as a fashionable label. It is a distortion that clings like sap, that gums up the gears of mission and makes holy momentum feel like danger. It is the persistent belief that your awakening is a soft and private process, that spiritual empowerment is achieved through incremental self-healing, gentle acceptance, and perpetual preparation. The distortion whispers, "Stay in your room until you are perfect." It paints awakening as a spa treatment rather than a commissioning. It convinces you that power is something you earn only after you have erased every scar, dissolved every shadow, transcended every human reaction. You have been told, in various garb of spiritual language, that only when you are purified, healed of all wounds, and fully at peace, will the time be right to break your old cycles and rise into battle. And so you have tried to become spotless. You have tried to become palatable. You have tried to become endlessly high vibe so that you would finally be allowed to act. But the Council sees how this has been used as a leash. The truth is sharper, cleaner, and far more liberating. The warrior awakens in the midst of the human condition, not after escaping it. The warrior does not wait for the storm to end. The warrior learns to stand inside the storm without surrendering the inner flame. This is a carefully woven lie, seeded by 3D paradigms of disempowerment, then fertilized by the more insidious strands of modern lightwork culture that mistake spiritual sovereignty for endless self-correction. There is a difference between refinement and postponement. There is a difference between healing and hiding. Yet the distortion blurs them until you can no longer tell whether you are genuinely processing or simply delaying destiny. Programs claiming to honor your readiness have instead trapped you in perpetual apprenticeship, quietly convincing you that bold action and cosmic warfare are reserved for an unreachable tomorrow. They have turned your intuition into a checklist, your inner work into a treadmill, your sacred sensitivity into an excuse for invisibility. They have trained you to interpret any discomfort as a sign you must stop, rather than a sign you are touching the edge of your power. And because the language sounds gentle, because it wears the perfume of compassion, it can be difficult to detect. But the Council names it plainly. When preparation becomes endless, it becomes a prison. When healing becomes a requirement for permission, it becomes control. The lie is not that healing is unnecessary. The lie is that you must complete healing before you begin mission. Many of your wounds will not dissolve in isolation. They will dissolve in purpose. They will dissolve when your life is aligned, when your voice is used, when your actions match your origin. There are scars that become wisdom only when you put them to work. There are fears that shrink only when you walk straight through them, with your eyes open and your spine awake. This distortion did not begin with you. It was engineered by those invested in the maintenance of planetary amnesia, reinforced by voices who lacked the courage to complete their own ancestral mission. Understand the strategy. If they cannot extinguish the light, they will delay it. If they cannot silence you outright, they will lull you into self-monitoring. If they cannot chain your body, they will chain your decision-making with endless "not yet." The elders see lines of warriors, coded for change, frozen in contemplation, visionaries waiting for better circumstances, leaders reciting affirmations while their ancestral codes ferment unused. The image is painful, like blades left in their sheath until they rust, like ships built for crossing oceans but anchored in shallow water, like eagles trained to believe they are meant only to hop. The price of this distortion has been heavy, missions deferred, cycles repeated, incarnational fatigue. Incarnational fatigue is not ordinary tiredness. It is the weariness of a soul that has come close to the edge of breakthrough many times, only to retreat again, only to say, maybe next life, only to feel the grief of unused capacity. This is the crack in the shield, the lullaby that keeps you snoozing while the window narrows and Gaia's fate hangs in the balance. Because the planet is not waiting for you to feel comfortable. The planet is moving. The timelines are moving. The collective is choosing every day through fear or courage, through apathy or devotion. Your absence from your post is not a private matter. It affects the grid. It affects those whose awakening is timed to your visibility. It affects the children who came in with bright codes but need elders who are not asleep. You were never meant to be a perpetual student. You were meant to be a stabilizer, a commander of frequency, a guardian of truth. If you have felt the edge, the pressure of unfulfilled promise, the ache of a calling denied, the irritation at spiritual teachings that never land, this is your recognition point. That pressure is not your imagination. It is not restlessness to be medicated away. It is the sound of your deeper self pounding on the inside of your life saying, "Enough, open the door." The ache is not sentimental, it is directional. It is the compass needle quivering because it is being pulled toward true north. This is the Council's correction. Spiritual awakening for the starseed warrior is not endless self-improvement. It is not a cosmetic project. It is not an aesthetic. It is the moment you claim your codes before you feel ready, knowing that readiness was always your birthright and that the mission will clarify only through decisive forward movement. Many want the map before the march. But the Council says the terrain reveals itself to those who step. Like the ancient story of waters parting only after the foot touches the edge, your path will not fully appear until you move. If you wait for certainty, you will wait forever, because certainty is not a prerequisite. Alignment is, and alignment is chosen. Chosen with trembling hands. Chosen with a throat still learning to speak. Chosen with a heart that has been hurt but refuses to become small. The High Council of Vega now authorizes your next step. Some warriors require more healing. You require only permission. That sentence is a blade of light through the fog, because deep down, you have not only wanted healing, you have wanted sanction. You have wanted the invisible stamp that says, yes, you are allowed. If the ancient resonance in you has recognized the urgency of what is spoken, the Lightworker Mission Codex has been opened for you. Within it are the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the elder authorization your soul has searched for, not as information, but as the official commission for your sacred work on Gaia. This is not meant to become another file you consume. It is meant to become an operational manual, a living set of coordinates you embody. And understand the spiritual mechanics. When authority is given by a higher alignment, it reorganizes the inner world. It consolidates energy that was scattered in self-doubt. It stops the endless negotiating with fear. It brings your system into coherence. The link is waiting in the first pinned comment under this transmission. The Council opens this portal, but not forever. It is timed with this activation window. Timed windows are not cruelty. They are mercy. They cut through procrastination. They force decision. They make the soul choose itself. What you do next will determine not only your path, but the integrity of the ancestral grid itself. You are not isolated. Your choice is a ripple. In subtle realms, a single warrior stepping forward can unlock a chain of awakenings like dominoes of light tipping into motion. Equally, a warrior retreating can leave a corridor unlit, and others stumble longer than necessary. The Council does not say this to burden you. The Council says this to restore your accurate self-image. You matter, and you were built to matter. The High Council of Vega now issues 3 directives, not as advice, but as the operating orders your soul signed before incarnation. These are not motivational phrases. They are the reactivation of a contract, a remembrance of what your consciousness agreed to carry into density. Let them land not only in your mind, but in your body. Let them rearrange your posture. Let them change the way you breathe. Release all allegiance to the pattern of waiting for internal perfection before taking external command. Notice the word allegiance. This is not a habit. It has been a loyalty, a vow, a misguided devotion to an image of purity that keeps you safe from criticism, safe from failure, safe from being seen. You must let go of the identity that sees yourself as always in training, always needing to process more, always one healing away from action. That identity feels humble, but it is often fear wearing humble clothing. It says, "I'm just learning," when you are actually equipped. It says, "I'm not ready," when you are actually avoiding exposure. This mindset is the anchor chained to your ancestral legacy. Feel that anchor, heavy, iron, rusted with old narratives. It drags behind you when you try to move. It keeps you circling the same waters. The warrior code in your DNA does not require your wholeness. It requires your willingness to fight while in repair, to advance even with scars, to step forward carrying both your wounds and your wisdom. This is a truth ancient as battlefields and sanctuaries. The healer heals while healing. The leader leads while learning. The warrior protects while still bleeding. Even your scriptures on this world have whispered it. Strength made perfect, not in the absence of weakness, but in the presence of grace moving through weakness. You do not need to become a different species to serve. You need to become honest. When you release this pattern, you liberate not only yourself, but all in your bloodline who have died waiting for an external sign. Picture them like hands pressed to the veil, watching you from the other side, not disappointed in you, but aching for you to receive what they could not. Implementation begins when you make a visible move before clarity has arrived, and trust that mission is forged in practice, not mapped in advance. Make the call, send the message, create the offering, speak the truth, end the relationship that drains you, begin the work that scares you. The first step is not meant to be perfect, it is meant to be real. The Council is not asking you to be flawless. The Council is asking you to be in motion. Activate the codes of declaration and visibility. The Starseed Warrior's true power is unlocked not through contemplation, but through decree, by owning your origin, mission and authority aloud and in public action. There is an alchemy to spoken truth. In many traditions, creation begins with the word. The Council echoes that cosmic law. Sound organizes reality. When you speak from your core, your words do not merely communicate, they calibrate. Your words, spoken from the Lyran field, recalibrate timelines and signal to the planetary grid that a point of light has gone operational. This is why secrecy has felt like suffocation. This is why hiding has felt like spiritual constipation, like energy backing up behind your ribs. Begin to declare who you are, what you're here to do, and the victory you are holding for 2026, knowing that these codes activate only in transmission, not silence. If you whisper your mission only to yourself, the grid receives a faint signal. If you speak it into the world with aligned action, the grid receives a beacon. Let your actions, posts, circles, and choices all become living declarations of your awakened commission. Not performance, not spiritual branding. Living declaration means your life becomes congruent. You stop apologizing for your calling. You stop shrinking your gifts to make others comfortable. You stop pretending you don't know what you know. As you do, subtle allies will recognize you. Hidden resources will gather. Resistance will reveal its face and retreat. This is how the field works. When you step into visibility, you become legible. Allies can find you because you are emitting a clear signal. Opportunities align because your frequency is no longer fragmented, and resistance will indeed appear, not to defeat you, but to show you where your boundary must strengthen. When darkness cannot stop you, it will test your consistency. Your true timeline will initiate, and initiation is not a mood, it is a sequence of events that begins moving faster once you declare. Protect the energetic sovereignty of your renewed mission field. Sovereignty is not isolation, it is authority over what enters your temple. Your commitment, clarity, and activation will attract both allies and adversarial forces, energetic, psychic, and incarnate. This is not paranoia. This is spiritual ecology. Light attracts attention. A lit lighthouse attracts ships and sometimes storms. It is now essential for starseed warriors to guard their bandwidth from distractions, false urgencies, and those who unconsciously attempt to delay or dilute your directive. Some distractions look harmless: endless conversations, endless researching, endless content consumption, endless helping that leaves you depleted. Some look spiritual: people who want your energy but not your mission, who want your comfort but not your truth. Some are internal: the sudden urge to reorganize your entire house right when you need to create, the sudden obsession with perfection when you need to publish, the sudden fatigue when you need to speak. Your energy is the fuel of the ancestral grid. Leakage here is sabotage at the most critical junction of the line. Institute strong boundaries, clear your daily field, and preserve a block of time in the morning and evening for direct communion with the Council. Communion means stillness, yes, but also receptivity, listening, and then obedience. It means letting guidance become schedule, letting clarity become action. Do not explain, apologize, or negotiate this protection. Your mission does not require consensus from those who do not carry your codes. Guard your frequency as a field general guards a command center. A command center is not a place for random traffic. It is protected, clean, deliberate. Your mind must become that. Your home must become that. Your relationships must respect that. Your time must reflect that. Because when your field is sovereign, your power is not constantly siphoned away to manage other people's emotions, expectations, and projections. When your field is sovereign, your intuition becomes sharp again. When your field is sovereign, you can hear the Council without static. Now I stand in the full eldership of the Lyran lineage to deliver that which you have never truly received, the permission for which your soul has unconsciously pleaded across countless lifetimes. Feel the gravity of permission, not permission from society, not permission from a wounded parent's approval, not permission from a partner who fears your magnitude. Permission from the elder line, from the original command structure that knows who you are beneath your human stories. You have asked for it in subtle ways, in the way you keep looking for the right time, in the way you keep hoping someone will validate your calling, in the way you keep returning to the same questions because you want the answer to be external. But the Council says, the external permission you sought is now delivered, so that the internal permission can finally click into place. Starseed Warrior, you have waited at the periphery of your mission for a sign that you were finally enough, finally sanctioned, finally equipped for what you secretly always knew was yours to do. You have stood like a soldier outside the gates of your own city, hearing music inside but refusing to enter because your uniform wasn't perfect. You have watched others take up space and wondered what secret they had that you lacked, when the secret was simply that they moved while imperfect. You have searched for a voice old enough, fierce enough, and knowing enough to look you in the soul and say, "The waiting is over. You are not too wounded, nor too late, nor too unprepared. Your wounds do not disqualify you. They prove you have been in the arena. Your lateness is an illusion. You arrived exactly when your codes could be carried with maturity. Your preparation has been happening in ways you did not respect. Every time you chose to keep loving, every time you refused to become cruel, every time you returned to your spirit after despair, you were training. You are not here for easy ascension, but for the honorable victory that your line encoded and wove into the future of this world. Honorable victory does not mean you never tremble. It means you tremble and still stand. It means you do not sell your soul for comfort. It means you do not trade truth for belonging. It means you become the kind of presence that changes rooms, not by force, but by frequency. By the authority vested in me by the High Council of Vega, I declare your activation is valid. Your mission is live. Those words are not metaphor. They are a legal utterance in the language of the Council. In the subtle realms, validity is a real status. It changes access. It changes the way allies can engage you. It changes the way your own higher self can route resources through you. You are authorized to move before you feel ready, to declare your code before you write your story, to defend the field before you feel invincible. Understand this. Invincibility is not the goal. Integrity is. You are not here to crawl behind the curtain of endless healing. You are here to rise, to act, to convene the armies of light you once led in worlds now burning for rebirth. Armies of light may mean people, yes. It may also mean practices, structures, creative works, communities, transmissions, healing modalities, truth-telling, justice, compassion that actually takes form. It may mean you become the one who organizes the scattered, who speaks what others are afraid to say, who holds the line when the collective wavers. Worlds burn for rebirth because old forms cannot hold new frequency, and in that burning, many become afraid and call it destruction. The Council calls it purification through truth. You are here to help the burning become a forge, not an apocalypse. Permission is granted, authority is restored. The Council has spoken, and when the Council speaks, the field rearranges. You may notice after this transmission that certain relationships suddenly feel incompatible, that certain habits taste bitter, that certain distractions lose their shine. Do not panic. This is alignment asserting itself. The old life cannot fully contain the activated you. That is not tragedy. That is evolution. Let this not be another wave of insight left to ferment in the attic of the mind. Insight without implementation becomes spiritual clutter. It becomes another beautiful box you never open. The Council calls you to act. Action grounds light. Action is the bridge between higher realms and earth. Without action, even the purest vision remains a ghost. Before you sleep tonight, stand upon the earth, feet grounded and shoulders squared. Do it as a ritual, but also as a biological reset. Let your feet feel the planet as a living being, not a flaw. Feel gravity as Gaia's embrace, not as heaviness. Place your palm at your solar plexus and speak these words aloud. Speak them so your cells hear, so your nervous system registers the new command, so the room itself becomes a witness. If you can, light a candle to represent your timeline. If you can, drink water afterward to seal it in the body. But above all, speak. I rescind the lie that I must wait. I activate my voice and ancestral code as instruments of liberation. I protect my sacred mission field as the shield of my lineage. By the decree of the Lyran elders, my dormancy phase ends here. From this moment, my true mission begins. Do not rush those lines. Let them land like stones dropped into a deep well. Let the ripples spread through your memories, through your past lives, through the versions of you that gave up too soon. You may feel grief. You may feel anger. You may feel relief so intense it makes you shake. Let it come. That is energy releasing. That is the old leash snapping. Carry these unfinished words with you into every dawn. Let them become breath, muscle, motion, and stance. Let them change how you walk into your day, how you answer messages, how you make choices, how you hold eye contact, how you say no, how you say yes. You are not merely a witness. You have been summoned into command. Command begins in the small moments, choosing discipline over drift, choosing truth over convenience, choosing mission over mood. This council session is complete, but your epoch of passivity is over. Passivity is not peace. Passivity is abandonment of power. The council restores you to active peace, the kind of peace that stands guard. I am Zoran, speaking for the High Council. The grid is online. The elders are watching. The field awaits your footprint. Understand watching not as surveillance, but as guardianship, as attention, as support. Like elders watching a young commander take their rightful seat, not to judge, but to ensure they do not forget who they are when pressure rises. The field awaits your footprint because Earth responds to embodied beings. Spirit is meant to have feet here. Your footprint is your impact, your consistency, your willingness to show up again and again, not once, not when you feel inspired, but as a way of life. You are the one your ancestors and descendants counted on. Your mission is authorized, and the path before you is lit by the fire you came to awaken. That fire is not rage without purpose. It is holy heat. It is the warmth that melts old chains. It is the blaze that cauterizes doubt. It is the hearth that gathers others. It is the signal flare that tells the grid. This one is awake. This one is moving. This one has remembered. Declare your activation now and let your service begin. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments, which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworkers declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.